Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday. We made it through the week. Thank Allah. He has brought us through. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You put your faith and trust in Him, He will see you through. I could bear witness to that. Hope you're having an excellent day, getting ready for the weekend. Whatever you do, please be safe out there. Like I always say, Satan is busy now more than ever before. So please, please be safe out there, whatever you may be doing, finishing up your shopping for the holiday, whatever the case. Just be safe. Please be safe. Getting to the topic for this video. So I've been wanting to speak on this for about a week now. So hey, brother, how you doing? Salute to you too. Happy Friday. Um, I've been wanting to speak on this for about a week now. So the late Norman Lear, who passed away on December 5th, 10 days ago. Norman Lear, we know him from All in the Family, the Jeffersons, what's another one? All in the Family, the Jeffersons, Good Times. We know him from those shows. He passed away at the age of 101, I believe. Yeah, 101. So he lived a long life, 101. So he passed away. But, but, I don't want to speak bad on the dead, but I have to tell the truth. Norman Lear stole ideas from a brother from Chicago, a brother from the south side of Chicago, who grew up in the Cabrini Green projects, which is no longer around, brother by the name of Eric Monte. Eric Monte was a talented screenwriter. He's still around, by the way. The brother is a talented screenwriter, director. He came up for the idea of the George Jefferson character back in 1971 when All in the Family premiered. But Norman Lear didn't think that it would catch on because he said people ain't gonna watch, no black man color white man honky. Well, lo and behold, 4 years later in 1975, the Jeffersons, the spinoff of All in the Family, premiered. 4 years later, George Jefferson was calling white men honky. He called Tom Willis, his friend, a honky. Called Archie Bunker a honky. When he was on All in the Family, when George Jefferson would appear on All in the Family, honky, honky, honky. Hmm. Norman Lear didn't come up with that. Eric Monte did. Also, did y'all know that Sanford and Son was a spin not a spinoff, but it was inspired by a British uh, TV sitcom. I think it was the number one sitcom in Britain at that time, or in years past, called Steptoe and Son. Steptoe and Son. So they want to do an American version, Sanford and Son. So Eric Monte once again told him, if you want someone to play a old cantankerous junk man, have Red Fox play him. According to Eric Monte, Norman Lear had never heard of Red Fox. Never heard of him. Who is Red Fox? Never heard of the man. Red Fox was a legend by the early 70s. The man had been doing comedy for what, over 25 years by that time, but he had never heard of him. Interesting. Lo and behold, who do they get to play Fred Sanford? None other than the late Red Fox. And his son, Lamont Sanford, was played by Damon Wilson. Great show. Very funny. I watch it to this day. Love Sanford and Son. I love the Jeffersons and All in the Family too. Good Times. I like the seasons with John Amos, our brother, who played James Evans. Yes, he was. He was a master thief. Yeah, the seasons with John Amos playing James Evans, those are my favorite episodes of Good Times. When they took him off, killed his character, I was done. But anyway, so yeah. So interesting enough, Norman Lear had a homie named Bud Yorkin. Bud Yorkin was responsible for Sanford and Son. Norman Lear didn't have anything to do with Sanford and Son. This is according to Damon Wilson, and he should know because he was on the show for 6 years. So he didn't have anything to do with it because Bud Yorkin and Norman Lear had beef with each other. They were homies. They split ways. So Norman Lear didn't have anything to do with Sanford and Son. It was all Bud Yorkin's baby. Um, so there you have it. Eric Monte didn't get credit for that. He got credit for being a screenwriter on Good Times. He got the credit for that, but it was differences with that because they wanted to cast Florida Evans as a single black mother, and the late great Esther Roll said, "No, no, no. I grew up with a mom and with a father and mother. I want to be married." So they created John Amos, James Evans. Now, interesting enough, and Norman Lear has something to do with Maud, which was a spinoff of All in the Family too, which starred the late B. Arthur. Now, what's funny about that is that Florida Evans, was the maid for Maud, and her husband name was Henry Evans, and he was a firefighter. So I don't know why they had a problem with Florida having a husband. Because she had a husband on Maud, why wouldn't she have a husband on Good Times? Didn't make sense. But anyway, John Amos was on Good Times. It was creative differences with Norman Lear on there with the actors because JJ, played by Jimmy Walker, the comedian, was a buffoon. Was a stone cold buffoon. Dynamite. Hey, what can I say? All that jive. So that was that. It was like, come on, man, really? And the late Janet Dubois, the late great Janet Dubois, who portrayed Willona Woods, the neighbor, the late great Esther Roll, and John Amos had problems with that. They had problems with him being a buffoon, with being a silly jigaboo. They had problems with that, but it was ignored. Lo and behold, they kill off John Amos' character, James Evans, as we know. James had gone to Mississippi to move the family down there, and he died in a car accident. That was in a John Amos on the show. In my opinion, Good Times lost its luster after that because Florida Esther Roll came back, but then she left the fifth season because she moved to Arizona and married another man. And the show by that time was done. It was over. They did one more season, the last season, the sixth season, but it's just like, come on, man. But yeah, she had left for a season, then she came back. But yeah, but Eric Monte, he had sued Norman Lear and another man in 1977 over creative differences over for how he screwed him over, how he, took his ideas for Sanford and Son, the Jeffersons, did not give him credit for it. And he also was responsible. He wrote the script for the movie Cooley High, which starred our brother Glenn Turman. Great, great movie. It's one of my favorite movies. Love Cooley High. Cooley High was the inspiration for What's Happening, starring, the late, great Fred Berry, the late, great Shirley Hemphill, Haywood Nelson played Dwayne, and what's his name? Ernest Thomas played Raj. So, and it was inspired by a movie that Eric Monte wrote for the script for, Cooley High. Came out in 1975. They screwed him on that. As a matter of fact, let me tell you how Jews stick together. So you remember I mentioned a few minutes ago that Bud Yorkin and Norman Lear, they didn't see eye to eye with each other. So, but let me tell you what they did. They may not have gotten along and seen eye to eye, but they said, let's get together and let's screw over this nigga. So this guy named I think Saul Tannenbaum, another Jewish man, and Bud Yorkin started a company called Toy, capital T, capital O, capital Y, Toy. In the middle of the night, at the 11th hour, they started this company, and they were responsible for what's happening. If you look at the credits, the ending credits, you see Toy, in capital letters, Toy. Tannenbaum, I don't remember the guy whose last name starts with an O, and Yorkin, three Jewish men. They screwed Eric Monte out of that. Not only that, Eric Monte had a terrible lawyer who told him, you know what, just take the settlement, just take the $1 million and go on about your way. He had a white attorney. Let me tell you something about Jews in Hollywood. They will stick together like gorilla glue, something that we don't do. But when it comes to someone coming against one of theirs, they will screw you over like um, Norman Lear did Mr. Eric Monte. They will screw you over. They will come together. They could be beefing with each other, not get along, not agree on anything, but they will stick. Well, when it come down to it, they will stay on code. Eric Monte could not find a lawyer in Hollywood to represent him. Not only that, he couldn't write for any shows. He was blackballed from Hollywood. He was blackballed. This is such a travesty. What happened to this brother? He's still around. I believe he lives in Portland, Oregon now. I think Eric Monte is either 80 or 81 years old. So he's still among us. But this brother fell on hard times. He was homeless, turned to drugs, what so have you. Depression. Depression set in. And of course, you're a talented screenwriter. You come from humble beginnings and you make it big. You're writing for movies and TV shows, and these people steal your ideas and you get screwed. Yeah, of course depression's gonna set in. But nevertheless, the brother's here. He has a story to tell. I don't know. He should write a book. He really should write a book. But I will say this: he did not know the ins of outs of Hollywood. Brother from the South Side of Chicago, growing up at Cabrini Green, he didn't know the ins and outs of Hollywood, Hollyweird. He didn't know how evil and devious they could be. Because let's be honest, Norman Lear was from Connecticut. What do a Jewish man from Connecticut, from New England, know about living in the projects in Chicago? Know about being black? Know about a middle class black family from Queens moving up to the east side of Manhattan, the east side of New York, making it big? What does he know about a father and son living in Watts in South Central, or South Central that is, with a struggling business? What the hell does he know about that? What does he know about a middle class family in Watts with three teenagers growing up? Talking about what's happening. What does he know about that? Not a damn thing. The only thing he could relate to, and he said this, was All in the Family, because he said his father was a lot like Archie Bunker and his mother was a lot like Edith Bunker. His father was racist. I could believe it. Look at him. Not speaking evil on the dead. I'm just telling the truth, y'all. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down. Hit the subscribe button so you get notifications when I do videos on here. But I mean, come on. What does a white man from New England know about being middle class and black, being poor and black? Not a damn thing. Good Times was the inspiration of Eric Monte's life. And his co-writer was Mike Evans, who played Lionel Jefferson, the first Lionel Jefferson. Not the one that they got later on. That one when I ain't like him. But the original Lionel Jefferson, Mike Evans, the late great Mike Evans. So I mean, come on. But that's what they do. When you challenge them, when you stand up for yourself, they will. I mean, this is not hate. This is not a hate video. This is just the honest truth. Jews stick together. They stick together like gorilla glue. That's something that we won't. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, that we won't do. Yup, did an episode of Black Jesus on Good Times. Michael had painted an episode. Painted episode. Had painted a picture of Black Jesus, and his mother, Florida Evans, had a picture of white Jesus. Black people still have white pictures of white Jesus now. I mean, so nothing's changed. And so she had a fit because Jesus was portrayed as white. That's what she saw. The only thing she knew. How dare Jesus be black? Great episode. And when Michael hung up that picture of Black Jesus in their apartment, they started having good things happen to them. Good things started happening to them. Funny how that happens, right? White Jesus. Some of our people still mentally enslaved. Jesus is white. He's white. No, that was Caesar Borgia, Michelangelo's cousin. Caesar Borgia. I think I'm saying his name right. That is not Jesus. That's how the Italians saw Jesus. That's how the Europeans saw Jesus. And they tricked us, our people, into seeing Jesus the same way, and it's still working right now as I speak. And it's almost 2024, and what? 2 weeks, 16, 17 days. We'll be in 2024, and you still have people who see this image of Jesus as being white. You still have it. We're 17 days away from being in the year 2024. And this has been going on for centuries. If I'm lying, I'm flying. People still have this image of a white Jesus. Blonde, brown hair, his hair long to his shoulders with hazel blue eyes, whatever you want to call it. No, 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 sir. That is a damn lie. And then when you tell people, why does Jesus have to be white? They say to you, and I've been told this by family members even, why does it matter? Why does it matter what color Jesus is? Well, obviously it does because they portray him as white. So obviously it does matter. Come on. Any event, that's just mental enslavement. It just bugs me, especially because we know better now. We in the age of information. If you could Google about your favorite rap artist or some other dumbish, then you should know, do the research about Jesus the Christ. We have too much information out here now. Come on. But in any event, yeah. So Mr. Norman Lear, yeah, he stole from a brother, and he helped blackball him from Hollywood, and it's just I wonder how many stories are like this that we don't know about. How many more stories are like this? God bless Eric Monte for coming through his drug addiction, and just making it through by the grace of Allah. And this brother definitely has a story to tell. They need to make a movie about his life too. And he should write a book. I don't know if has written a book, but he needs to write a book because he has a story to tell, has a testimony, and they can help other people who are struggling through addiction. Just a thought. But in any event, I'm gonna hop off of here. But I just want to, talk about this because it's been on my mind for since Norman Lear passed away, and I just wanted to say that this man, he wasn't squeaky clean. He stole from a brother, but that's what they do. That's what they do. The white man will steal from would steal from us our ideas and take credit for it. Steve Jobs stole. He probably. It wouldn't surprise me. Steve Jobs stole the idea of Macintosh from a black man. We are very creative, very innovative. We've been in this way for millions of years, way before the time of Christ. So they've always stolen from us, always. So it's no big surprise, none whatsoever. But in any event, y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Y'all be safe. If you go on shopping for the holidays, please, please, please be aware. Be aware and beware. Satan is coming to destroy, kill, now so more than ever. Especially if you're going out here shopping, just beware. Beware and be aware. Dropping your kids off, picking them up from school, whatever the case may be, coming from work, going to work, just be safe. Beware and be aware, brothers as well as sisters. Take care. I love y'all. Continue to support the podcast, my YouTube channel here. Brother needs your love and support. I cannot do it without y'all. So please, please, please continue to support me. Please. I need the love and support. I thank y'all very much. Love you, and I'm out. All right, y'all take care. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.